Hello, hello, hello. We are live, live, live. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Bald Life Magazine, Living a Bald Life. We're all going to share this video real quick and give everybody an opportunity to come on in the room. So come on in the room and share this video before we get started. We are excited to be here on this Saturday afternoon to have a conversation, and we want you all to meet three of our editorial writers for the Bald Life magazine. And you know what, guys? It's not letting me share, but that's okay. There we go. So hello again. My name is Jamie Elmore. I am the editor-in-chief of Bald Life magazine. I am the alopecia confidence coach. I am whatever you want me to be. Okay? How about that? I'm just excited to be here. We do this show every single Friday, but we have added an extra day because we are leading up to the release of our magazine. Some of you may say, well, what is Bald Life magazine all about? Bald Life magazine will feature, and it is for men, women, and children that are bald due to alopecia, cancer, medically induced, or simply by choice. This platform is for them. This platform is provided for them to show and for them to unapologetically rock their crown. So we are so excited to have that opportunity to create a community for the hair loss community. And so I'm just honored to have my beautiful team before me. And we're going to jump in and introduce everybody to you guys. But I want you guys to know that we have intentionally selected a team of 9 individuals from the hair loss community. Now, I was intentional by the way that I chose them and selected them. So either one, they had hair loss themselves, either alopecia or they were bald by choice. 2, they had a family member that had alopecia or hair loss. Or 3, they were an expert and they specialized in helping the hair loss community. And so all of the writers that are part of our team, they have a niche, okay? They have a heart, and we're excited to have all of them. And so we're going to jump right in. We're going to jump right in and just get to know everybody real quick. And I'm going to start off with asking everybody the same question. And we're going to have like a Robin type of question. I want to know a little bit about you guys. Tell us your name, tell us your area of expertise, and about how long you've been working in your field. And so we're going to start off with you, Mr. Devin Stubblefield. The floor is all yours.
All right. Well, thank you, Jamie. You know, it is a blessing to be here, and just want to say hello to everyone and our other distinguished guests. And I just feel honored to be a guest today to share a little bit about myself and what I do. Again, my name is Devin Stubblefield, and I am a financial coach and certified financial trainer. Okay, so I travel the country training with organizations on various different financial capability, financial wellness programs. And here personally, you know, I work with people who are looking to just improve their overall financial wellness. And it's just amazing that I could be a part of this community, the alopecia community, because, you know, I understand, being that I had a very good friend of mine growing up that had alopecia, and I could see some of the emotional, psychological impact that it had. And so, you know what? If there is an opportunity to collaborate, to connect, and to bring it all together, and I can share and contribute, that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I'm here, Jamie. Thank you for having me.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. So Precious, Miss Precious Rutlin, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Yes. So, hi, everyone. My name is Precious Rutlin. I am out of St. Louis, Missouri. I am a trichologist, also known as a hair and scalp specialist. So, what I do is help professional women who've experienced hair loss or hair thinning, and they want to grow a healthy hair environment without having to wear a wig. So they want the wig to be optional and not a must. So that is where I come in. I've been a trichologist since 2017, but I've been in the hair industry since 2008. So it's been a while. I got into trichology because I myself have experienced hair loss on a few occasions. And so after having my second son and really going through postpartum hair loss, which is also known as telogen effluvium, that was the kicker for me. And I know how I felt. So I was like, well, I definitely need to help women to overcome this, or at least give them some hope and show them what they can do to stabilize their body, not only just topically, but also inside out. And so I also have family members that have experienced hair loss. And at the time when they were experiencing hair loss, I felt helpless, like I didn't know what was going on, and I would ask questions. But now I'm in the position to help others. And so that's how I stumbled across Bald Life magazine, and I felt that you could use my skills, and I was ready to serve any way that I can. So that's how I ended up coming to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And Dr. Tracy, I see you have your beautiful daughter, and I can't wait to our one-on-one interview when we can go more into detail about her story. But I know that you have her there, but tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to, join the Ball Life team.
So I'm Tracy Schrader Swartz. I'm an optometrist. I specialize in dry eye and the front of the eye. And a lot of times, if you have an autoimmune disease, then you are more likely to have trouble with your eyes, trouble with dry eye. So that's one of the reasons why I got interested. But the real reason I got interested is because my beautiful child right here, Mackenzie, 3 years ago, yeah. Why are you crying? I don't know. Like in one weekend, all of our hair fell out. And I reached out to alopecia groups on Facebook, and Jamie was one of the first people to connect with me back. And so I've been sort of stalking / inspired by Jamie Elmore ever since. And so when she asked me to become involved, I wanted to inspire my daughter. I wanted to inspire other people. And so that's why I'm here.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. And nice to meet you, Mackenzie. I look forward to getting to know you more on a personal basis when we do the interview with your mom. I can't wait to hear more about your journey and your story. And I just appreciate all the strength and encouragement that you give to your mom. So thank you for showing up today as well. Thank you. Let's just jump into the interview a little bit more and have a conversation. So, Mr. Stubblefield, the first question I have for you is, based on everything that's happening right now in the economy concerning the pandemic, what should our audience be doing right now to make sure that we're okay from a financial standpoint moving forward?
Yes. And so thank you for the question, Jamie. And I know that everyone is really concerned about, the bigger picture, in terms of what's happening. And we know that people have experienced layoffs or reduced hours and all kinds of different financial adjustments. And so the first thing I want to say is try not to panic. Okay, try not to panic, because there are lots of different things that are available to you in terms of resources that can help kind of get you over until things change again. And, I want you to think about, how do you define financial security? And right now, based on what has happened, has that financial security been interrupted? And if it has been interrupted, think about, well, what do I need to do on a day-to-day basis just to make it? Because it's really one day at a time. Don't try to look at it from this bigger perspective. Look at it for right now in terms of what can I do today, this day, to make sure that I'm okay financially. And so when we talk about that, we talk about in terms of, what makes you feel secure? Is it money in the bank, or is it just the steady income to pay your bills? So in terms of responding to this pandemic, I want to share with you some resources around getting some help in terms of, your credit, in terms of maybe student loans that you might have and that sort of thing. But there is programs and resources out there based on how the government has responded economically. And I know many of you already know about the unemployment benefits that has kicked in as well. But again, the key right now is to kind of keep your space, keep things on an even keel. Don't panic, but think about how you can prosper. How can you turn this scenario into something that can benefit you overall financially? And so focus on your savings. Okay, right now, we're not spending a lot of money because we're not going a lot of places due to the stay-at-home orders. So what you do is start saving as much as you can and really start to build up your accumulation, because we don't know what the future is going to hold. But the point is that you have to determine what's going to work best for you and make you feel secure. So that's what I would say, Miss Jamie, on that.
Wow, that is so good. So a wealth of knowledge and expertise. And what makes me so excited about this panel that's before us is all of you, every last one of you, have experience in what you're talking about, firsthand. And I just appreciate you. I mean, really, my heart is getting kind of emotional, because just for you to say yes, the team and the services and what you're going to be offering our audience and community speaks volumes. So thank you so much for sharing that, Mr. Stubblefield. And I just look forward to where we're going to go, everybody. So Precious, jumping down there with you real quick, since we're talking about hair loss. Hair loss is a major issue when it comes to women. We know men as well, but I know your specialty is women. What are some reasons why a woman's hair will fall out or will start thinning? With your background, just give us a couple of reasons why that even happens to us.
Sure. Well, hair loss can come from a number of things. Most of it could be to physical or emotional stress. A lot of people don't realize how big the emotional stress plays a part into it, but it does. It contributes to it, but it's not the only reason. You also have environmental factors. It could definitely be due to your nutrition. That's the biggest thing. If you're not eating right, your body's not able to absorb the minerals and nutrients that it needs. Another factor could be on medications. If you're stopping medications, if it's the wrong dosage, that has a huge part in it. And then as well as if you're, going through menopause, or you're just having different hormonal fluctuations, that can definitely contribute to your hair loss.
Wow, that was good. That is good. And I talk to people about that all the time. And it's good to get professional confirmation what some of the things that I say. So thank you so much for putting a stamp of approval on what I've been talking about. I appreciate that. I do. So Dr. Tracy, I just wanted to ask you what made you decide to become an optometrist?
So
what made you decide to get into that field of work?
I always wanted to be a doctor, but I don't like blood. I don't like feet. I don't like teeth. And you can't tell, but I'm very short. So I couldn't do chiropractic. So that left eyes.
That was hilarious.
Oh my goodness. That left eyes. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad you chose. But you know what? To add to that, Dr. Tracy, I don't think a lot of people realize that one of the challenges for people that deal with hair loss with alopecia is our eyes. You know, when we lose our eyelashes, our eyes get dry, we get the eye gook and all of that. So I know that you're going to be able to bring a lot to the table from that area as well. And then now you can help your daughter. And I'm just excited to have you on the team. So this is great. So Devin, coming back to you, and this is a good question because I was thinking about this myself. When it comes to our credit, how can our audience protect their credit ratings during this pandemic? I mean, they find themselves trying to pay the bills, let alone pay them on time. Talk to us about what we can do to be better prepared and, all of that.
Yeah. This is a big deal. A lot of people are concerned about that right now, simply because if money's short, then obviously, it might be a challenge to keep those payments going. But here's the thing, and I want you guys to really understand this part here. The CARES Act, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act, that obviously now is in effect. And here's the thing about this. In terms of your creditors, and I'm talking your car note holders, your credit cards, your mortgages, your everybody, even the student loans, everybody is part of this. So what you can do is you call the creditor. That's the key. You have to make the phone call. You call them, make a let them know that you have been impacted by the pandemic financially, give them any details that they're asking you for, and then they will make accommodations. According to the CARES Act, it says that all creditors that make accommodations for at least one or more payments during the pandemic, they absolutely cannot report negatively on the credit. So that means during this time frame, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax are not getting negative reports if you have made the phone call, if you have set up the accommodations with your creditors, and you are missing payments. So that is the really the protection that we have right now. But if you don't make the call, then that is not activated. And if you had delinquencies or late payments prior to the pandemic, they can still report those. But if you make arrangements for things going forward, then you'll be protected. And who knows how long the pandemic is going to be here, right? We don't know. Nobody knows. But the key is you have to make the call and have to allow them to make the accommodations for you, and then you'll be set in terms of if you are concerned about your credit ratings or your credit scores dropping during the pandemic. So that's what I would say to that.
Wow, that was a lot. And that was good. That was really good. Yes. Because that was something that I was concerned about myself. And I can imagine on a global level, everybody is concerned about those things you just covered.
Yeah.
So that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wow, that was good.
Yes.
That was good. So Precious, the question I have for you is hair loss. Does a person's diet affect hair loss?
Yes, it does. It plays a huge role in that.
What we're not eating.
Yes, it does. It plays a huge role in that. And actually, what I like to explain is our body is a reflection on what we put on the inside of us. So if you're eating a lot of junk food, crap that you shouldn't be eating, drinking soda, of course, that's going to reflect on the outside. So if you already have a low immune system, or you already have other chronic underlying conditions going on, that just only exacerbates the problem, what's going on. And say, for instance, if you've had a gallbladder removed, or you don't have all of your organs, then that means that your liver has to compensate for what is missing. So now your body is working overtime. So whereas when you're going in to eat your food, your body is going to balance itself the way that it needs to. So your nutrients are going to go to whatever organ needs it the most. And so your hair is an accessory. So unfortunately, that'll be the first thing to go if needs be. So a lot of people need to understand that, like, what you're putting in your body is a huge difference, especially if you have autoimmune disorders. Like, all that plays a role. All of it goes hand in hand.
Whew, it's just getting better and better and better. I'm so proud of my team. I'm like, look at here. Yes, this is great. This is great. I'm loving it. Thank you so much, Precious. We don't think about that. The average person, something we do not think about, that it affects everything, what we put in our body. I mean, that was good. I can't wait to our individual interviews with you all, because it's going to get better and better as we move on. Oh, thank you so much. So Tracy, Dr. Tracy, I wanted to ask you about dry eye from the standpoint with makeup, because having alopecia, I accessorize. I put on my lashes, my eyeliner, my makeup, because everybody ain't ready for the raw truth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't handle the raw truth. So I have to, when I get on these videos, I gotta accessorize and make sure that y'all can look at me on the other side of the camera. Okay. So talk to us about dry eye and makeup. Do you have any suggestions? Is there a makeup line out there? Kind of talk to us from that standpoint.
There is a lot of dangerous cosmetics out there. There's a lot of substances that are allowed in the United States that are not allowed in Europe. And I have a lot of this information on my Facebook. So my Facebook is Huntsville Dry Eye Clinic. And there's a list of things that you want to look for in your cosmetics to make sure they're not in there. Parabens, fragrance, alcohol, anything that causes sensitivities or inflammation. And, we don't want inflammation up here, but we don't want it in our eyes either. So the way that you take off your makeup, the way that you put on your makeup, how long you keep your mascara, things like that can all make dry eye worse. So the ophthalmologist recently actually released her own eye care line, and it's mascara and eyeliner remover, and then anti-wrinkle creams, because this is a major problem. All the things that we do to get rid of our wrinkles, they actually make your dry eye way worse. And so you want to do things to make you look good, but you also don't want to do anything that makes your eyes sick. So there's information about that on my the Huntsville Dry Eye Clinic page too. But yeah, like, you don't want to put eyeliner on that inner edge. You don't want to put retinol or alpha hydroxy near your eyes. Number 1, number 2, those are the pearls for today.
Woo, those are some pearls too, because I'm up here as you're talking, I'm saying, uh-oh. But that's okay, because you can always start over.
You can always start tomorrow.
If you don't know, exactly. And I guess I can say it like this too. When you don't know, you just don't know. Once you know, you can do better. And so I appreciate your expertise. And I want to add to all of this, to all of our audience, if you guys have any questions about any that you say, and you see the lineup of experts, after we're finished with this interview, you can go into the comment section. You can ask a question. All of our experts, they will come back and they will answer any questions that you may have. They will leave their links, their websites, email addresses, whatever they want to leave for you. Then you guys can reach out to them privately, one-on-one. But just know, we will not leave you hanging. We are here to help and answer any questions that you may have, and give you some things as well. If we don't know, if they don't know, they know who to point you to. They know who to direct you to get the answers. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there real quick.
Mhm.
And so, Devin, my next question for you is, God forbid, God forbid, but if this was to happen again, this pandemic, or like you said, you don't know how long this is going to last, how can we prepare ourselves? What are some things we can do to, I'll say it like this, to kind of lean into what's happening? What can we do?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, just keeping it real, Miss Jamie, I would say everybody get your side hustle on, right? I'm saying anything you can do right now to monetize, right? Monetize. You know, you have something that you can do. You have something that you can contribute, you can offer, whether it's a product, a service, a skill, even if it's just your knowledge. Monetize something that you have and make it an income generation thing for you. That's what you have to do, because at that point you become your own economic center, right? So if you become your own economic center and that thing starts to work, and now you're not so susceptible to what's going on in the global economic scenario, right? Because your personal economic center is generating. And so that's what you should think about doing. And it could be something very simple. Doesn't have to be it could just be something as simple as you getting on a recorder and recording yourself and have it transcribed, just something like that, and put that information out there, because there's somebody out here that needs exactly what you just did, right? And so you monetize it. Now, in terms of the other stuff, when it comes down to like your debt and all that stuff, just make it, don't incur any unnecessary debt right now. I mean, just leave it alone if you can. Don't incur any unnecessary debt. Those of you that have recurring expenses, like if you already have like a business or something like that, and you have these subscriptions that you're doing, let me tell you something. Convert them all to annual, because a lot of times when you convert your monthly subscriptions to annual, you save like 2 or 3 months worth of subscription payments. So why not do yourself a favor, if you can, to convert those monthlies to annual, get that cash flow rolling in your favor. Do that. You don't have to worry about it again for another year. Okay. Give yourself a reprieve. Then the next thing is in terms of, get in the habit of savings. Now, this is something I tell people to do. It's going to sound simple, but let me tell you something. This will work. You know how you go to Safeway and you have your loyalty card, you swipe your card, and then on the receipt it says, oh, you saved $6.34 today. Well, what most people do is they look at that and say, oh, cool, I saved $6.34. What I'm saying, if your receipt says that, when you get to your car or when you get home, do a transfer from your checking to your savings account of the $6.34, right? Do that and actually save the money, and let the receipt be the trigger. And if you get in the habit of doing that, now you're raising your consciousness level of being in the habit of savings. And so then now you're looking to do that every single time, because when you get your bank statement, your accumulation is rising, your balances are growing even in a pandemic. You see what I'm saying? So you can do these kinds of things to really help yourself. So monetize, do your own triggers for savings. And then finally, when it comes down to your credit, we were talking about credit a little bit earlier. In terms of that, here's what you want to do. When I pay that stuff down, pay your credit cards down if you can. If you can, pay them down to 30% or less of the high credit limit on every credit account. You pay them down, that's going to bump your scores up. So right now, even when we're doing this, we can actually increase our credit scores. We can increase our savings. We can increase our income by just making these mental shifts. And so again, as I said earlier, I said we can, we don't want to panic during the pandemic. We want to prosper during the pandemic. So doing these kinds of things will lend itself to that. And that's what I would say. If you do that now, if this thing lasts into year 2021, that's all right, because you are creating your own economic center, because you're doing these kinds of things that's going to put you in a place where you're going to be in a financial wellness scenario. So that's what I would say to do to protect yourself going forward.
You better come on. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. That is amazing. Don't tell me that Ball Life team don't have the baddest experts, okay, on the planet, for real. Our team is bomb. I just, come on. I mean, like,
yes.
I can't wait to do the interview with each and every one of you, the one-on-one interview. We're going to be able to get down and get, whew, this is so good. This is getting so yummy, 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 yummy. Okay, let me keep it moving. So, Precious, I love that, Devin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Precious,
Thank you.
this question is really good. You're welcome. This question is really good because in the alopecia community, we talk about this. And when it comes to alopecia and hair loss, everybody wants a fix. We want hope. We want a solution. So the question I have for you, and I have to make sure that everybody hears me correctly. Can those who have been diagnosed with alopecia and still have hair, okay? Now listen to this question. For those that have been diagnosed with alopecia and they still have hair, because there's different types of alopecia, okay? And the hair's not damaged. And if the hair's damaged, can it be corrected and treated to grow back? Did you guys get that? Did you get that?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm gonna give that to you. Okay.
Yes, it can. Actually, I would just say, let me correct myself on that. Actually, it's just going to depend on who the person is itself. So obviously, if you were one of the ones that were able to catch your status for alopecia as soon as you noticed your hair was coming out and you jump right on it, then yes, you increase your chance for saving your follicles, or if nothing else, stabilizing where you are and possibly slowing the hair loss down. Now, if you happen to be one of the ones where you waited, just put things on a back burner, kept letting things add up, pile up, and you waited 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, the longer that you waited to address the alopecia, then you decrease your chance of restoring that hair. And then a lot of it is going to depend on whether you have permanent scarring or non-scarring. So it just depends on what kind of alopecia you were diagnosed with and what the treatment is that they're recommending that you proceed with.
Now that was good. Thank you. Thank you. That was really good, because like I said, most of us just want a solution. We just want our hair back. And some people, unfortunately, in our community, they will do whatever if they think their hair is going to grow back. And I appreciate you saying that everybody is different. Everybody's outcome is different. So I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. And guys, we're doing really good on time. I'm just loving this. I could talk all day to y'all, but I know we don't have all day. I know we don't have all day. Oh my goodness. So Dr. Tracy, this is so good. This is really good. Dr. Tracy, I wanted to ask you, since you chose to be an optometrist, what do you like most about your job? Because, you know, my experience for optometrist is I go and get my eyes checked, get my new glasses for the, you know, for the next year, and then I'm in and out. But being an optometrist is different. You know, it's different. So tell us what's your favorite thing? Why did you decide to go into this field?
Well, like I said, I think feet are gross, but okay. So when you become an optometrist, there's all different things that you can do. So I have done the job where you guys come to me for glasses and I ask you which is better, one or two, all day long. And for me, I didn't like that. So I actually went into the medical model. So I actually help people that actually usually have something wrong with them. And I didn't realize this until I got to where I am, that one of my favorite things is that people will come to me with a problem, and about 60% of the time, I can make a positive benefit in one visit, which is like one of my favorite things. Because if you think about it, how many times do you go to the doctor and the doctor fixes the problem in one visit? Not very much, especially with a chronic disease like dry eye. So that's one of the things that I love about my job, is that I can actually make people see better and feel better. And sometimes I can even do it without a prescription, which I love.
What? Oh, okay, wait, you just tapped on something. How do you do that without a prescription? Give us one example of how you can change it around without a subscription. I just want to know.
So a lot of times when people come in and I'm like, do your eyes get tired? Does your vision get blurry and fluctuate? Especially like when you're looking at a computer, or do your eyes hurt when you wake up? Do they hurt when you go to bed? And a lot of people may not even realize that that's dry eye. So they don't even know they have a problem maybe, but they do. And then sometimes people aren't really doing anything about it, or they're like, well, I don't know. I've tried like Visine, which all eye doctors hate. And so you tell them, I say, based on what I see clinically, I want you to use this over-the-counter drop, or I want you to take fish oil or krill oil, which goes back to like what Precious is saying, because a lot of what she was saying affects your hair, also affects your eyes. So if I can get them using regular artificial tears that are appropriate for their eyes, or get them on a supplement that's not only going to affect their eyes, but also affect their joints and lower your cholesterol levels, which is great, then sometimes that's all you need to do. Or sometimes just doing hot compresses for 10 minutes, that's the secret. 10 minutes is all that someone might need to get them back to the place where their eyes are comfortable again and they don't need medicine. It doesn't always work, but I always try.
Wow, that was so good. Oh my goodness. Y'all just dropping these jewels, these diamonds, and oh my goodness. This is really good. This is yummy. So yummy, if I can say it. This is so good. I just appreciate you guys just taking time out of your schedule to answer some questions, to introduce yourselves and what's to come in the magazine. You know, you guys gotta stay tuned. September 2020, we'll be releasing the Ball Life magazine. And like I said, we have a lineup of 9 writers from all different areas of expertise. And we will be talking with each and every one of them. And we will also be having our one-on-one interviews. But before we close, I'm going to go around really quick. And I want you to, each of you, to give us just something positive you want to say to our audience, either about the pandemic, what's going on, or something positive for someone dealing with hair loss, anything in that arena, or just, you just want to share something. So Devin, I'll start off with you. Give us just one positive quote or just something that you want to say to the people.
All right. So first of all, we all are trying to make sense of what we're dealing with right now, right? I mean, who would have thought that we would have been where we are today? I remember at the beginning of the year, everyone was saying, Vision 2020, right? And this was going to be this grandiose year where we have new insightful awareness. Well, it certainly did that, but it came from a different way, right? I mean, we all got shell-shocked based on what happened. And so, but this is a great opportunity for you to really, really stand behind your truth. I mean, think about it. The new consciousness that is in the air right now, based on some of the events that we've witnessed over the last few months, but actually it's been going on for a while. But now all of a sudden, now we've got this raised awareness, the social consciousness. And so what I want you to think about doing in terms of yourself and being grounded in what's your truth, think about also how you can begin to take actions that are in your best financial interests. And what I mean by that is, think about everything that you're doing right now, everything, every decision, everything that you spend on, everything. I want you to think about, how is this going to impact my future? And I want you to get a vision of your future financial self. And what does she look like? What does he look like? Your future financial self. And can you do things today to support that person? Because it's all too often, we get all these things that are happening in and around us. Sometimes we forget about our future financial selves, but not no more. I want you to think about that person, and I want you to nurture him or her. Nurture that future financial self. Why? Because when we get to this other place in life, and it could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years, whenever it is, when we get to that place, you want to be able to look back on this time in history in 2020 and say, that was the year that I made these decisions. And these decisions have set me up to what I'm experiencing now. And so you want to be able to have that conversation with yourself. And so you can right now to think about, what do you need to do to support that place, to support that future? And if it means that you have to kind of be selfish, that's okay for a moment. But not selfish in the sense that you're cutting everyone's out. What I'm saying is that think about self-preservation. Think about how you can actually make sure that you don't sink economically by some external forces that you have no control over. Okay? So in other words, definitely do what you can, again, to protect that future financial self and take actions that are in your own best financial interest. And so that's what I would offer today.
Whew, that was good. That was really good. Really good. So I want to add here real quick. Sorry, guys. Let me, excuse me 1 second. Okay. So to close it out as well, Precious, just a closing, some words of encouragement that you would have to offer our audience as we wrap it up.
Yes, I would like to offer that we all have a choice, and we can look at the positive or the negative of the situation, and to realize that it's up to you how you want to make it, how you want to perceive things. And right now you have the opportunity to take control of your life and put everything in your hands. Tomorrow is not promised to either one of us. And so it's time to consider, whatever it is that you want to do, don't procrastinate on it any longer. If you want it to be in better health, or you wanted to just anything, something that you always wanted to do, the time is now to go ahead and do it. And just don't be afraid, and know that you are supported. It's not by happenstance that you happen to even be watching this live, whether someone shared it with you or you stumbled across it, or you've been following Jamie for a while. But realize you do have the power, you do have choice, and that you are supported.
That's what I'm talking about. This is getting better and better. Thank you so much. Dr. Tracy, what are some closing words of encouragement you can give our audience?
So my daughters are so sick of me saying this, but I try to find the silver lining in every single situation. And there's a lot of reasons why people who are listening to this might have reasons to be upset. Maybe they have alopecia. They are upset that they've lost their hair. They don't feel well. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Maybe they're having some other personal or financial problems. And I think the best way to not feel bad about yourself is to do something for somebody else. So it could be something really simple, like if you're at the grocery store buying something for somebody else, or picking up someone's cart, or helping someone load their car, or getting someone's mail, something like that. But I just think that's really important, that everyone try to be a positive influence on somebody else. And the worse you feel on any given day, then I think the harder you have to work to do something nice for somebody else.
That is everything.
Yes.
You are so right. And I'm just going to add to everything that you guys have said. And the bottom line is, there's always somebody worse off than us. We all have choices.
For sure.
And we can create our world, our own world. We can make a decision to say, today is not going to be like yesterday. How can I have a positive impact in somebody else's life? And like Precious said, that tomorrow is not promised to us. What can we do today? How can we walk in our purpose? And how can we touch and change somebody else's life? And so, again, I want to thank each and every one of my panelists, my experts, my editorial team of writers that showed up on a Saturday. You guys could be doing anything besides being on here talking with me. But I appreciate you. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your expertise. And just to remind all of our listeners that if you have a question, leave your question in the comment section. All the websites will be left in the comment section as well. You can reach out to all of our experts here individually, set up an appointment with them and talk to them and get some assistance during this time of transition. So guys, we're going to sign off. And again, go to baldlifemagazine.com. Follow us on Bald Life Magazine, our Facebook page, Instagram account, and we will be releasing our magazine in September 2020. We are a part of history, and I'm so excited about that. So, guys, thank you for joining us, and we're going to log off, and we're going to say goodbye to everyone. So, you guys have a glorious Saturday.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye, everybody.